Hello everyone, I'm Koo and I'm a visiting professor in Korean Studies Berlin Freie University, and I'm also a researcher at the Ewha University at Korean Cultural Research Institute. It's so honored and pleasant to me for sharing my knowledge with you. The topic of today is the meaning of Jeolla region in the history of Korea from cultural historical perspective. The lecture has been prepared to help the students who will be attending the Jeolla summer school in August understand the cultural and historical significance of Jeolla province. Rather than focusing on my personal research in the field of cultural heritage, the content of this lecture is designed to provide an overview of Jeolla province culture, including its religion, architecture, art, and music, among other key aspects. As a researcher specialized in Korean culture heritage, I believe that it is important for students at the summer school to gain a comprehensive understanding of not only art, but also the broader aspect of the historical and the cultural significance. In this course, we'll explore not only the universal aspect of culture, such as Buddhism and Confucianism and Taoism, temples, shrines, which can be found in various regions beyond the Jeolla region, but also unique cultural elements that are particularly prominent in Jeolla, such as the dolmen stones, onggi, and pansori and namjongha. Through this course, I hope that you will learn about the cultural heritage and the significance associated with the various locations you plan to visit the Jeolla region this summer and gain a deeper understanding of the diverse and rich culture of this region. And let's briefly examine the concept of culture, which is a central theme of today's discussion. Culture refers to the process of acquiring and sharing and transmitting forms of behavior of a lifestyle that are created by the members of society in order to achieve a certain purpose or ideals. It encompasses various aspects such as consciousness, language, custom, religion, and scholarship, art, and institution, including material and spiritual achievements obtained through these processes. The term culture is derived from the Latin word cultura, which originally meant cultivation or cultivation of a land, but later came to encompass various aspects of human life, including language, art, music, literature, religion, tradition, social norms, cuisine, and more. Next, let's take a look. Let's take a look at Jeolla province as part of our discussion on culture in Jeolla province. Jeolla region is located in the southwestern part of the Korea Peninsula and includes three administrative divisions: Gwangju Metropolitan City and Jeolla-Bukdo, North Jeolla region, and Jeolla-Namdo, South Jeolla region. And it is also referred to the Honam in other terms, while Jeolla region originated as Jeolla province, Jeolla-do, during the reign of King Hyondok in the Goryeo dynasty. It gained the nickname Honam during the late Goryeo period and early Joseon dynasty. From now on, I will use the term Jeolla region, Jeolla province, or Honam interchangeably in this lecture. In order to this lecture is as follows. First, I will examine the natural environment that has had a significant influence on the culture of Jeolla region. Then we'll explore the representative aspects of Jeolla Province culture categorized by the different time periods. To understand the culture of Jeolla Province, it is necessary to first examine its natural environment. Nature shapes the human way of life, and its systems contribute to the formation of a distinct culture. The Jeolla region, also known as the Honam region, is located at the western end of the Baekdu. This is the Baekdu mountain range. It is bordered by the Geumnam range, Geumnam mountain range. Here is Geumnam mountain range. To the north, and geographically, Jeolla Province is located at the western end of Baekdu mountain to the range. Here. To the east, it is bordered by the Geumnam mountain range. Within this region, 3 major rivers flows in this area. 3 big rivers. The Geumgang River here. Geumgang River, which flows between the Geumnam mountain range and the Baekdu mountain range, and flows into the West Sea. The Yeongsan River, which originated from the Honam mountain range and flows into the West Sea. It flows West Sea. And the Seomjin River, which flows into the South Sea. The Honam Plain is vast flatland that stretched across the watershed of the Geum River in Jeolla region. The river has carried sediment, resulting in the formation of extensive deposits of soil. In addition, intensive plains such as the Naju Plain have been formed in the watershed of the Yeongsan River and the Seomjin River, which flows through the Jeolla region. In the Honam Plain, cities such as Jeonju and Iksan and Gunsan have emerged, forming the living zone of Jeollabuk-do. On the other hand, in the Naju Plain, cities such as Gwangju and Naju and Mokpo have developed, forming the living zone of Jeollanam-do. The vast plains of Jeolla Province have provided abundance of rice. The Honam Plain, as the largest plain in the Korean Peninsula, covers an impressive area of 3,500 square kilometers. The Honam Plain region is renowned as a major rice-producing area. When combined with the Naju Plain, nearly half of the rice in the Korean Peninsula is produced in this region. The plains of Jeolla Province have a suitable climate and terrain and irrigation facilities for cultivating rice. Traditional farming methods and agricultural techniques have been passed down, maximizing the quality of the rice. Jeolla Province's rice is famous for its tender and chewy texture as well as its rich flavor. Various rich dishes utilizing this rice have become representative culinary tradition of the Jeolla region for food culture. On the other hand, the eastern part of the Jeolla Province consists of rugged mountainous terrain, and it is referred to as the Jinan Plateau. Therefore, in the eastern part of Jeollabuk-do, the North Jeolla region, especially in the Jinan highlands, one of the obtained a plentiful variety of vegetables and fruits. The western part of the Jeollabuk-do, North Jeolla Province consists of vast plains, while the eastern part is characterized by high mountains area. This stark geographical distinction within a single region has had a significant impact on the history and culture of the Jeolla region. One notable feature of the Jeolla Province, Jeolla region, especially the Jeolla-do, south part of Jeolla region, is the presence of 2 seas and numerous island. While most regions in South Korea, except for Chungcheongbuk-do, are adjacent to the sea due to the country's three sides coastline, the Jeollanam-do region stands out. It is home to 1,965 islands, and accounting for 50% of the nation's coastline length. The area is rich in seafood and seaweed, and it remains the top of the produce of marine products in the country. It is true that not only the Jeonnam region, but also the Gyeongnam region are connected to the two seas. However, the South Sea and the West Sea in Jeonnam are known for their vast interior mudflats, which are one of the world's top 5 tidal flats. These mudflats, rich in the nutrients, serve as habitats for the wide range of the organisms. The small organisms gradually become the part of a large food chain. Furthermore, the essential seasoning in the Korean cuisine, 천일염 solar salt, is produced right here. The 천일 salt produced along the West Sea coast enriched and mineral serves as a source of producing high-calorie fermented seafood and products such as 젓갈 and oyster sauce. It allows for the abundant production of these deliciouses, and ultimately contributes to the delicious seafood found in this region. In the diverse nature environment of plains, mountains, and seas in Jeolla province has had a significant influence its food culture. The Jeolla region boasts to the best culinary environment in the country, thanks to its abundant nature benefits. Located in the southern part of the Korea Peninsula, it enjoys a warm climate and high precipitation, and resulting in a rich variety of flora and fauna, which contributes to the abundance of food options available in this region. The abundance produced by the nature not only enriched people's lives, but also brought about the sense of leisure, of culture, and the arts. How did the culture of Jeolla province, with its diverse natural environment of plains, mountains, and coastlines, develop? Now we'll explore the culture of Jeolla province, focused on its religious and artistic aspects, which have emerged in various spaces throughout the history. Now, let's continue by discussing take a look at the culture of Jeolla region in chronological order. The distinct beginning of the Jeolla province culture can be found in the dolmens created during the Bronze Age. The dolmen, dating from 2000 to 1000 BC, represents a prominent manifestation of megalithic culture in the Neolithic and Bronze Age cultures worldwide. The use of large stones as new techniques emerged in front of rituals involving aligning of stacking stones. The term dolmen refer to the stone structure where a stone is placed horizontally or supported by the stone supports, exposing it above the ground. The goindol, dolmen, are also known as 지성묘 in Korea and Japan, commonly used in academic circle. In Celtic North Irish language, it is called 돌, meaning of table, and man, meaning of stone, combining the form of dolmen. In English, it is referred to the table stone. Dolmens are distributed worldwide, with a particularly concentrated presence in the Korea Peninsula and northeastern regions of China. In Europe, dolmens have been discovered in countries such as the United Kingdom, Ireland, France, Denmark, Germany, Netherlands, Sweden, and Belgium along the coast of the Baltic North Seas, as well as Spain, Portuguese, Italy, and Ethiopia. Dolmens were primarily constructed during the Bronze Age, a period when agriculture was introduced and social stratification began to emerge. These structures were typically made using massive rocks weighing tens to hundreds of tons. Due to the labor-intensive nature of their construction, dolmens were often used to tombs by the ruling class. In addition to the giant dolmens, there are also smaller capstone dolmens weighing less than 10 tons found in the Korean Peninsula, which still required significant manpower. Therefore, it is speculated that not only the highest ruling class, but also individuals with some degree of power of assistance from the surrounding community were buried in dolmens. The construction of dolmen required a large workforce, suggesting the presence of early complex scientists or proto-states. Thanks to the early cultivation of rice farming on the Korean Peninsula, labor resources were readily available from the early Bronze Age, leading to the construction of numerous dolmens. Korea dolmens are known for their large-scale, diverse structure. In Korea alone, there are over 30,000 dolmens distributed throughout the country, according for more than half of the dolmens worldwide. The main distribution is concentrated in the area near rivers following into the West Sea, closely associated with the western coastal regions. Among them, the dolmen is Hwasun and Gocheon in Jeollado, and Ganghwa, Jeollabukdo. Jeolla were inscribed as a UNESCO World Heritage Sites in 2000. These are sites consist of a total of approximately 820 dolmens clusters spread across these three regions. However, why are these dolmens easily visible to the general public? The reason is that people often have difficulty distinguishing between the dolmens and the natural rock formation. So sometimes we confuse it is a natural rock formation or it is dolmen, but mostly we have this type of the dolmen in Korea. The reason why dolmens are easily recognizable as such in our surroundings is mainly due to the prevalence of table shape of dolmen. This is table shape of a dolmen, known as Northern style in Korea. There are two main classifications of dolmens, 고인돌 in Korean, the table-shaped style called the Northern style, and the square-shaped style called the Southern style. The Northern style dolmens, which lack of support stones, are classified this one, Kaesok style. Unlike the table shape of the square-shaped dolmens, the Kaesok style dolmens closely resembled, making it difficult to distinguish them based on their appearance. The abundance of Kaesok style dolmen is the reason why it has challenged to recognize ordinary rocks and the dolmen, and many of them have been destroyed or repurposed as a construction of materials. There is a simple and easy method to distinguishing Kaesok style dolmens from the natural rocks. It involves poking the bottom of the part of exposed stone with an iron rod. And if it easily sinks in, and there may be the burial chamber underneath, indicating the presence of dolmen. On the other hand, if it feels solid and impenetrable, it is likely just a regular rock. The prevalence of table-shaped dolmen in the northern region of the Korean Peninsula can be attributed to the color, colder weather, which made it difficult to dig frozen ground during the winter. In contrast, the southern region, which have a relatively warmer climate, have more square-shaped domes. These domes have burial chamber, contrast underground. So this is the place you will be visit in summer. Yes, Gwangju Yongdu Dome. Yes, so that's why I explained so long time, because I like to help you to understand what is dolmen and why it is not it looks like a natural rock, but that's why this shape. Okay. As you can see the screen, you can find all three types of dolmen: table stones and border game stones and desk-like stone. In the Gwangju region, a total of 356 dolmens have been discovered, and it is quite unique that only Yongdu-dong has dolmen of the nursing style. Due to the relatively low height of tablestone dolmens, they sometimes appear like ordinary larger rocks, making it difficult to recognize them as dolmen. Many dolmen have been used as construction materials and removed in the past. But the Yongdu-dong, 지상묘 Yongdu-dong pointer resolved well. There are well-preserved dolmen remains in Gochang also, Cheongbuk region. The dolmen is Gochang are typical example of on-board style 바둑판식 dolmen. The dolmens in Hasan in Jeonnam region, Gochang, Jeonbuk province, and Ganghwa are also inscribed as UNESCO World Heritage Site. Moving on from the Bronze Age period in Jeolla region, let's now examine the culture of Jeolla region during the Three Kingdoms period. As this area seamlessly transition into the unified period, we'll also explore the culture of the unified Jeolla. The Three Kingdoms period was characterized by the territorial was among the three kingdoms of Goryeo, Baekje, and Jeolla, each competing for the power and expanded their territories. Jeolla region, with its rich agricultural lands, was a sought after region. Due to its geographical position, Jeolla region faces strong influences from Baekje, which sought to expand southwards, and Gaya, which aimed to expand westwards. Moreover, Jeolla region was the homeland of the indigenous power known as Mahan, which contributed to the development of the unique ancient culture known as the Mahan culture in Jeolla region. Before delving into the cultural Jeolla regions during the Three Kingdoms period, has briefly explored the cultural aspects of Buddhism, Confucianism, and Taoism, and that are prevalent during this area. Since the Three Kingdoms period, Buddhism, Confucianism, and Taoism have been embraced in Korea, with Buddhism holding the largest influence. Buddhism is a religion that follows the teaching of the Siddhartha Gautama, as known as the Buddha, and regards Buddhist scripts as its sacred text. The goal of Buddhism is to achieve nirvana, which means the cessation of rebirth. During the Three Kingdom period, Buddhism began to be embraced as the centralized state system was being established. This shift was influenced by the recognition that the society could no longer rely solely on the shamanism and divination. Additionally, new emerging rulers demanded alternative ideologies such as Buddhism to strengthen their one power, the deterministic Buddhist philosophy, which emphasized that everything is determined by the human will rather than the authority of heaven, provide a solid foundation for the emerging monarchies. Buddhism was initially adopted and politically exploited by the royal court during the Three Kingdoms period. But over time, it began to establish itself as a religion. In ancient religion, Buddhism held the largest proportion, and the method of attaining enlightenment varied depending on the sect. Just as there are Presbyterian and Methodist denominations in the Christianity, Buddhism also has a different sect of denominations. In the context of United Silla, there were two major Buddhist sects, Sojong, also known as Seoul, and Sunjong, as known as the Jinulsan. Kyojong sect. During the unified Silla period, the majority of the people, especially the nobility, followed the Kyojong sect. This sect emphasized the importance of reading Buddhist scriptures and understanding their techniques in putting them into practice. The focus was on reading the scriptures and attaining realizations of their truths. However, for the common people who couldn't read or didn't have time to study, it was difficult to grasp the truth expounded by the Kyojong sect. Instead, the nobility, who held a sense of the privilege, believed that by acquiring knowledge and skills beyond the reach of the common people, they could become enlightened beings. The Kyojong sect held a privileged position among the nobility. The Hwa sect was also a part of the Kyojong sect. During the unified Silla period, among the various branches of Daeseon Buddhism, the Hwa sect emerged as the dominant force. The prominent monk Wonhyo and Uisang played significant roles during the area. Afterward, during the unified Silla period, there was a shift in the dominant Buddhist sect from the Kyojong sect, which was favored by the nobility, to the Sun sect, Zen sect, which was embarrassed by the common people. The Sun sect emphasized practice and cultivation until attaining enlightenment, making it accessible even to the illiterate commoners. This shift allowed the Sun sect to gain the prominence among the general population. Confucianism is a representative philosopher ideologue in China that venerates Confucius as its founder. It is also known as Gongja or Gongjaji. Confucianism regards Ren as the supreme moral idol and that encompasses all virtues. It is a form of the ethical and political philosophy that aims for the self-cultivation, harmonious family life, and good governance, and the realizations of peaceful society. Confucianism has dominated East Asia throughout thought for the thousands of years, including in China, Korea, and Japan. Taoism, rooted in the concept of 무의자연, Wu-wei, and considered a prominent indigenous religion and philosophical system in China, emphasizing the worship of natural principles. Taoist teaching highlight the importance of living in harmony with the principles of nature, seeking balance and harmony in one's life. Its goal is to achieve spiritual liberations and self-realizations. In contrast to Confucianism and Buddhism, Taoism shared many similarities with our native belief. Furthermore, the influence of Chinese territories of yin and yang, and the concept of a Tao Chai Tauchia blended with our indigenous belief. During the Three Kingdoms period, Taoist teaching were widely embraced, and the concept of Tao served as principle of knowledge. Among the famous artifacts associated with the Taoism, there are the 4 animal-shaped diet painting from the Goguryeo, the brickwork with the mountain and the water motif from Baekje. It's the 4 animals. And the famous artifact also, it's a brick with the mountain motifs. Yes, Taoism very close to the nature, and this is mountain and water. Yes, and yes, it's the incense burner. Yes. Open the lid and put the incense inside of this craft and cover the lid. The smoke with the sense coming out from this lid. So it is associated with Taoism. First, let's examine the area near the Yeongsan River. I also said 3 big rivers flowing inside of the Jeolla region. The first is Yeongsan River. Let's examine the area near the Yeongsan River, one of the major rivers flowing through the western Jeolla region. Around the 4th century, the power of the Yeongsan River basin became more distinct. However, the neighboring Kumgang River basin, which was closer in the proximity, came under the influence of Baekje, and at least from the late 4th century to the early 5th century, while the Yeongsan River basin with the stronger power and took more time to be incorporated. During the Three Kingdoms period, the Jeolla province Jeolla region was formed around 2 rivers. As I already said, the Yeongsan River and the Samjin River. These 2 rivers were significant elements representing the natural environment of a region, and their importance in shaping the history and cultural development of the Jeolla region can be recognized. The excavated large pottery coffins in the Yeongsan River basin, hold a unique position in the burial culture. Large pottery coffins discovered in the Yeongsan River region surpass those from other religions and a different time period in terms of their size. This pottery coffin in the Yeongsan River region are composed of 2 or 3 connected coffins. The representative reservoir in the Jeolla region is a large-scale pottery coffins excavated in the Sinchonni Naju, located in Yeongsan River. The number is 9th, we call it. In Sinchonni is a place, the place name in Naju was excavated and surveyed by the Japan in 1917. Yes, it's a small, looks like small hills, and inside of the hills there are pottery coffins. Excavated pottery coffin from these tombs is spacious inside, allowing it to accommodate the remains of robust adults and various artifacts. Yes, burial artifacts. In tomb number 9 in Sinchonni Naju, valuable artifacts such as the gold-plated bronze crown and shoes, gold and silver ornamented headband, a jade pendant were unearthed. These intricate grave goods are rarely seen in the various sites depending on the area, era, and region. Leading historians and archaeologists to speculate that the owner of this tomb was likely a prominent figure in the Yeongsan River at the time. A golden plated bronze crown was also discovered in this tomb. It is a gold plated crown measuring 25.5 centimeters in the height. This crown was produced in the Yongsan River area, Jeolla region, during the Three Kingdom period. It consists of the outer and inner structure. Efforts are also underway to recreate the exhibit, the process of how people who lived in the ancient Yongsan River region, as shown in the photo, constructed these massive pottery coffins. As seen in the photo, creating such large coffins is not only easy task. It is not an easy task. And once they are made, they need to be moved to the dried and transported to even larger kilns. Special attention must be given to avoid break during this process. The kilns themselves have to be constructed on a large scale specifically for these coffins. And the skill of properly firing the coffins in the kiln is crucial. Although there are no existing records documenting the extra techniques and used to create these coffins during that time, the reproduction of the process provides insight into the advanced coffin making techniques developed at the time. And furthermore, it allows us to consider the purpose behind the crafting, such as large coffins with the involvement of many individuals and the cultural significance of the Yongsan River. 4th century Jeolla region was under the influence of Baekje and Kaya. Now let's take a look at the golden plate copper shoes, especially discovered in Naju and Gochang. We already saw these golden plate bronze shoes. Yes, we already saw it. And next, we saw together these two shoes. There are funeral artifacts believed to have been presented by the Baekje kings to the indigenous power of the Yongsan River during this period. These funeral artifacts, especially the golden plate bronze shoes, unearthed from the Bongdangni tomb in the Gochang, Jeollabuk-do, and these shoes discovered also from the Bogamni tomb in Naju, also Jeollanam-do, are believed to have been presented by the Baekje kings to the indigenous power to the Yongsan River. Let's first examine the golden plate bronze shoes excavated from the Bongdangni tomb in the Gochang. There are several tombs in this area, these hills. So, and it is excavated now. The Bongdangni tomb is a tomb from the Baekje period around the 5th century that exemplifies the traditional style of Mahan burials. Alongside of the golden shoes, various other items were discovered in the vicinity of the deceased, including the bamboo leaf-shaped head ornaments and bronze cup stands and decorating large swords. Yes, something like what particularly elevated the value of this tomb was presence of the golden plate bronze shoes. These golden plate bronze shoes were buried with the golden shoes. These shoes are adorned with a wide variety of intricate patterns. And moreover, the embedded 18th conical spikes reach up to the 1.7 centimeter in size into the floorboard. So, therefore, it can be inferred that these funeral artifacts were impractical in nature. While gold shoes have been excavated not only in Jeolla region, but also in other regions, such as the Baekje and Silla, The ones found in 고창, 전라도 고창, are considered exquisite and beautiful masterpieces. In Baekje's central government, it was a customary practice to present golden shoes, golden plate bronze shoes, or golden plate bronze crown ornaments as gifts, symbolizing adherence to Baekje customs. Bearing these gifts as the gave goods also served as an expression of loyalty to the Baekje by local power. It can be inferred from these shoes and crowns the Baekje sold to the form of to receive community by the presenting shoes as common gift to the power along the Yangsan River. It also demonstrated the remarkable achievement of Baekje's superior or Mahan superior craftsmanship. In addition to golden plate bronze shoes, there is another notable aspect in the Bongdangni tomb in the Gongju, Jeollado. Apart from the golden shoes made in the Baekje, it contained pottery from the Japan and China. Specifically, there were Japan silky ceramic, such as like this one on the screen, and the celadons from the China in the complete forms. Silky refers, yes, this one. Silky refers to the earthware produced in the Japan during the late 5th century in the Kofun period. The Chinese celadon, this one, is pottery discovered in the Bongdangni tomb, dates back to the Dongjin period or Dongjin period. The tomb owner is believed to have possessed both Baekje, ancient Japan, and Chinese products together. Chairman, so it means while it is possible that the central government of Baekje received from the Japan and Chinese products, it could be also that the tomb owner acquired them through the trade or other means. Yes, we have various possibilities. As I mentioned earlier, the areas surrounding the Yangsan River had a relatively flat land and a wide watershed, making them suitable for the agriculture and fishing. As a result, this region overlapped with the territories of the combined Baekje and Gaya first. In the Naju area of Jeollado, which possessed abundant resources, there was a culture of large bronze vessels made during the Bronze Age. Furthermore, around the 4th century, Naju was a part of the Mahan region and fell within the influence of Baekje. And it is this region that the excavated golden plate bronze shoes believed to have been presented to the Baekje king were found. And according to a survey by the National Naju Cultural Heritage Research Institute, out of a total of 2,567 Mahan-related agricultural archaeologically sites in the Yangsan River Naju, had the highest number of within 403 sites. Not only the sheer quantity, but also the variety of Mahan artifacts excavated in Naju have attracted attention. Yes, these are the other golden plate bronze shoes from the Naju. Yes, it's very similar to the Gochang's one, but slightly different. Upon closer examinations, you can see the various patterns on the side panels and the sole, excluding the ankle area. The side of panels features heart-shaped plain patterns, while the central hexagonal framework dynamically and three-dimensionally portrays mythical creatures such as phoenixes, dragons, human-faced birds, and paired mythical creature and the mythical beast. Beyond the hexagonal patterns, diverse and impressive animals are placed appropriately. Inside of the compartments, vacant space are adorned with the circular depictions of human faces with a diameter range from the 2 to 4 millimeters. Yes, we will move to the Iksan to see the 미륵사지 stone pagoda. 미륵사지 temple is ancient temple site located in Iksan, 전라북도, South Korea, dating back to the Baekje period. According to the historical record 삼국유사, during the reign of King Mu, Muang Baekje, King Mu, Maitreya Buddha statue appeared in the pond below the Yonghwasan mountain, while the king and the queen were on their way to the temple. Upon the queen's request, the pond was filled and the temple was established on the filled pond, known as that is 미륵사지, 미륵사 temple. Mirik temple. 미륵사지 has a stone pagoda. Is a pagoda that was erected within this temple. Let's briefly understand the concept of Maitreya Bodhisattva, the 미륵불. Buddha Maitreya is the future Buddha, not present Buddha. Buddha Maitreya will come, is one of the representative to Mahayana Buddhism, and it is also called the Bodhisattva of the loving kindness. After receiving predictions from the Buddha, Gautama Buddha, that he would become a fully enlightened Buddha in the future. 미륵불, Maitreya Buddha is believed to currently reside in the heaven, Chushita heaven, but delivering the teaching for the benefit of celestials, buildings, and humans. He is said have been born in the Seoul, beneath of a dragon flower tree in the Julian garden after 5,670 million years had passed since the Pariyana of the Shakama Buddha. By attending the enlightenment beneath of the dragon flower tree, he became the Amita Buddha, and through 3 assemblies of teaching known as the Dragon Flower Assembly, he compassionately transformed sentient beings that Shakyamuni Buddha could not save. According to the Buddhist scripture, among the 1,000 Buddha who appeared during the period, yes, not only the Shakyamuni Buddha, there are another Buddhas. There are many Buddhas. The Buddhas are almost 1,000 Buddhas, and this known as this Shakyamuni Buddha is the fourth, and Amita Buddha is the fifth. Yes, it's very complicated to me also. It is explaining the 1,000 Buddhas concept in the Buddhism, and yes, but today I would like to say the Maitreya. In Korean, we call it the 미륵불. Please tell me, please, just me, I will call it this statue is 미륵불. The main ideas of Shakyamuni Buddha teaching is that the individual can attain enlightenment and become a Buddha through their own efforts and self-cultivations. That is Shakyamuni Buddha's teaching. However, It is challenging for everyone to achieve elevations through the personal practice alone. This is why the belief Mirupul worship, which offers a collective salvation for those who struggle with their one afflictions, emerged. Mirupul worship, which venerates Mirupul as the future Buddha, is the future. It's not present Buddha, who has yet to come, but is destined to arrive. Yes, Mirupul will be destined, will be here in future. Yeah, has spread widely among those who yearn for the new world and hope for the future. It has taken shape as concrete from the faith within the Buddhism, which is often criticized as over theoretical. Miryuk Temple, Miryuk Saji, built by the Mirupul, is a historical site from the Baekje period located in Iksan, Jeolla-bukdo, South Korea. According to the, we said it again. So it is, it doesn't remain anymore, but at that times, it is very big, vast temple. Yes, we have only these two pagoda, stone pagoda now. Yes. Through research, it has been determined that the layout of the temple consists of stone pagoda positioned to the east and west, with the wooden pagoda in the middle. It was the wooden pagoda was middle, and the stone pagoda is left and right, the east and west. But they are disappeared. It is constructed, and two stone pagoda remains. There are separated halls called Gumdang, and their Buddha statue were enshrined. This stone pagoda, created in the 639 during the region Baekje King Muwang, is known as a prototype of Baekje pagoda style and can be considered the starting point of Korean pagoda in many aspects. At the time of this dismantlement, it had a height of 14.2 meters, making it the tallest pagoda in Korea. Estimated to have originally had 9 levels. It's a 9 level. It has 9 levels. These pagoda successfully portrayed the wooden structure of Baekje pagoda using the stone material. The stone pagoda in front of the western Gumdang is the oldest remained pagoda and was constructed using the wooden architectural techniques. Yes. It was almost collapsed, and yeah, this picture is taken during the Japanese colonial era, but it was constructed again, and this picture is taken in 2000, and now it is completed. Present stone pagoda of Miryuk Temple. Yes, the temples disappeared now, but we can imagine the real the Baekje's temples at the time, the big 2 stone pagoda and also the taller wooden pagoda was stand here. During the restorations and the maintenance of the Miryuk Temple stone pagoda in Iksan, conducted by the National Research Institute of Cultural Heritage, a Saria casket was discovered. The diverse patterns and intricate craftsmanship on the surface of the Saria casket showcase the exceptional metal craftsmanship of Baekje in the Jeolla region. When you go to the mountain in Jeolla, you can sometimes see the Buddha features on the cliff over big rock. It is called Mae-yeore. Mae-yeore. Mae means engraving on the rock or cliff, and Yore means person who has reached nirvana, which is another way to call Buddha. So the rock carved Buddha is the image of the Buddha carved into the rock. There is a Buddha statue on the rock of Walchulsan Mountain in Yeongan-gun, Jeollanam-do. This Buddha statue is 8.6 meters high, and the statue of the person who has reached nirvana is seated in a deep rock wall. The giant stone Buddha sitting on the high mountain would have an evocative deep face and provide a sense of tranquility in the heart of people in Jeolla region at the time. This is appearance of the rock carved Buddha when it snows on the mountain Walchul in the Yeongan in winter. It is very beautiful look. There are many examples of the rock carved Buddha statue carved into mountains in Korea. Next time you will visit the Chungcheongdo region, be sure to also meet the rock carved Buddha statue in Seosan. On both sides of this rock carved Buddha, a pair of figures are carved together, so it's called the rock carved Yeole triad. Yes, we have a look. In the period of the Three Kingdoms. Yes, there are various material cultures at the times. So we summarize briefly. During the Bronze Age, there are many dolmen remains in the region. It was characterized by the surplus of production and a class society. As a native region, the local inhabitants in the Mahan area maintained their power until the late period. There are vast remains of large bronze ceremonial vessels. The powerful Baekje kingdom acquired golden plate bronze shoes and placed them in the tombs. Both Baekje and Gaya influences can be observed. In the Three Kingdom period, influenced by the belief in the Mirukbul, Miruk Temple, Miruksaji, was constructed, and Miruksaji Sakta, Mieusa stone pagoda remains to this day. Various artifacts such as the Miruk statue on the mountain Walchulsan in Yeongan provide insight into the religions and history of their time. These artifacts can be found throughout the Jeolla region. Yes, next let's examine the cultural Jeolla region during the unified Jeolla period. Unified Jeolla period, also known as the later Three Kingdoms period. The terms used describe the time when the Jeolla kingdom unified the Korean peninsula. Although the history of Balhae is not close related to the Jeolla region, so we'll refer to this period as unified Jeolla period for the purpose of our discussion. First, Gure Haeum Temple. Maybe you will go there in the summer. Haeum Temple was found in the 544 during the reign of King Song Baekje by the Buddhist monk who came from India. The name of the temple, Haeumsa, is derived from the Avatamsaka Sutra. Many of prominent monks contributed to its establishment, and in the 1424, during the reign of the King Seongzong, the King Seongwang in the Joseon dynasty, Seongzong, it was elevated to the stature of the Seonjong Temple. During the Imjin War and Jeongmyo-jeran, Haeum Temple suffered significant damage. At that time, the head monk bravely defended the temple with 153 monks, but tragically lost his life. In 1630, during the reign of King Injo, a 3-story and 5-story stone pagoda was constructed and preserved. Okay, so here is a different seasoned view of the Haeumsa temple in Gure. When you visit Korea, you will likely encounter this temple nestled in a lush forest. Yes, so we will look into this Gakhangjeon. This building is Gakhangjeon Hall in Gure Hwaeomsa Temple. Is a magnificent and skillfully constructed building, recognized as excellent architectural cultural heritage. The term of Gakhwang seems signifies a fully awakened being or enlightened king, symbolizing both the highest attainment of the enlightenment by the Buddha and the role of imparting Buddhist teaching to king during the Joseon dynasty. Originally, Gakhangjeon Hall had a three-story structure with Hwamgyong scriptures engraved on his wall. However, during the Imjin War, it was destroyed. So, and only fragments of more than 10,000 pieces are currently resolved in the temple. Yes, there is many buildings in the Hwaeom temple. And yes, this is Gakhangjeon. There is two meanings, and this is the inscription of the Gakhangjeon. It is said that the name of Gakhangjeon was given by King Sukjong, who inscribed it on the plaque. The term Gakhwang carries two meanings: enlightened king, referring to the Buddha's awakened state, and the notion of enlightening King Sukjong, also Buddha and King Sukjong together. Yes, two meaning. So Sukjong, King Sukjong with the Buddhist teaching. Each section of the pagoda exhibits exceptional craftsmanship and displays the lively beauty in its roof stones. Let me tell you about this stone pagoda. Is behind the building. There is a beautiful stone pagoda there. This pagoda is each sections of the pagoda exhibit exceptional craftsmanship and display the lively beauty in its roof stones, and suggesting that it was likely built during the mid-8th century, the prosperous period of unified Silla. The lower tier of the base is adorned with vivid carvings and celestial beings, depicting various scenes of playing musical instruments and supporting flowers and dancing in the praise. The main body of the pagoda, known as taeguk, feature door-shaped panels on the first floor with a carving of the compassionate statue, Buddha statue, as well as a statue of the kings, Yongwang. Particularly noteworthy are the lion sculpture on the upper tier of the base, which serve the integral element of the pagoda structure. Alongside the famous Dabota pagoda in Gyeongju Bulguksa Temple, they form the pair of distinctive stone pagoda in Korea. The most striking feature of the upper tier is the arrangement of 4 lions at each corner, all facing forward with their mouths open and revealing sharp fangs. In the center, surrounded by the lions, stands a statue of the monk in a meditative pose believed to represent the mother of the monk, who supervised the construction of the pagoda. Additionally, a monk statue. This is the monk's mother statue, and this is a monk statue. The monk statue depicted kneeling in front of the adjacent stone lantern and carrying carrying the lantern on their back while offering respect to his mother, symbolize the utmost filial piety of the monk involved in the lantern dedication. So it is two stone structure is very connected together. In the center, The surrounding by the lion stands a statue of the monk in the meditative pose, believed to represent the mother of the monk who supervised the construction of the pagoda. I said it. And this is also the painting. Yeah, this painting is painted for this Hwang temple. In front of the Daeungjeon, this is Gakwangjeon, and here is Daeungjeon. Daeungjeon is the main hall of Hwangsa Temple. There is a 5-story stone, and also in the near the Daeungjeon, there is a 5-story stone fountain. And the Hwang Temple located in Gure, there are also 2 pagoda, stone pagoda here. Yes, and let's move the pottery story. They are made in the Yeongnam, Jeollado. The reign of the Jeolla province, Jeolla reign, where Mahan and Gaya exist, was a production site for the iron and developed iron smelting techniques. This signifies the ability to use a high temperature fire to melt iron. Due to their advanced fire handling skill, they were able to fire ceramics at high temperatures as well. Therefore, around the 8th century, the Yeongnam was able to produce pottery fired at a higher temperature compared to the other reigns. The pottery from the Yeongnam shown on the screen was fired at extreme high temperatures, causing the glaze naturally adhere to the surface on the pottery, giving it a glossy appearance. This technical advancement eventually paved the way of the productions. Goryeo dynasty. During the Goryeo dynasty, there were also many cultural aspects related to the Jeolla region. However, for this class sessions, let's focus on the Goryeo celadon. Goryeo celadon is a type of ceramic that was produced during the Goryeo dynasty in Korea. It is made by applying an iron-rich glaze to finally prepare the clay that contains a small amount of iron. The celadon is then fired in the reducing atmosphere at temperatures ranging from approximately 1,150 to 1,200 degrees Celsius. Originally, celadon ceramics were produced in the Gyeonggi province and the Hwanghae province region of Korea. However, in the 10th century, the invasion of Koran disrupted the existing celadon production facility, making it difficult to continue production in the previous location. As a result, the productions shift to the southwestern region of Jeolla region. So specifically Gangjin and Busan. This shift was attributed to the establishment of a transportation system called June. So this is Busan, and Gangjin is the next production area for the celadons in Korea. Originally, the beginning of the production of celadon ceramics was not fully developed. However, after relocating the celadon production site to Gangjin, the technically for making celadon rapidly advanced like this. As a result, the celadon with the beautiful colors and decorations began to be produced in the Gangjin and Busan areas, Jeolla province. The most well-known among them is the Mebyang, a plum-shaped the bottle, we call it, adorned with the elate tight slit technique and features a cloud and crane design. The Mebyang has a rounded and bulging body that tapers elegantly downwards and slightly flares out of the bottom. The entire surface is decorated with an evenly arranged circle, and the areas inside and outside the circle are adorned with the cloud and crane motifs using the black and white inlay techniques. During the Korean period, grain was collected, taxis and the local specialties were offered to the tributes. These taxes and tributes were stored in the regional granaries called 조창, 고려조창, and then transported to the central government through the maritime route known as 조운. 고려 celadon from the Gangjin and Buan in Jeolla region was also transported along to the western coast through these maritime routes. However, a significant number of ships carrying these ceramics encountered accidents and sank during this journey. The Goryeo celadon discovered from the sunken ships indicates that it was produced in Gangjin and Buan, and it was transported to the capital city, Gangneung, the present today Seoul, through maritime route. To this day, sunken ships has transported in Goryeo celadon. Goryeo celadon have been excavated and investigated in this area, and Taean, Gunsan, Buyeol, Wando, and Muan along to the West Sea. This suggests that the maritime routes played a crucial role in the transportation of the ceramic world. Now we are Joseon. Joseon is a country that we pass it, and the Joseon holds a special place in the Korea history. And said, we talk about the Jeonju. Jeonju is a famous portrait of the kings. Jeonju holds a special place in Korea history as ancestral home of Joseon dynasty, which lasted for over 5 centuries. It is in the Jeonju that the foundation of a dynasty was established by King Taejo, the first king of Joseon. One of the notable aspects of the Jeonju historical significance is that its association with the Eojin. Eojin means royal portraits of the Joseon kings. Eojin played a crucial role in the honoring and preserving the memory of the Joseon rulers. So in the particular, the portraits of the King Taejo hold immense importance as they represent the founder of the dynasty. Jeonju is the place very connected to because Jeonju Ishi, his the last name, family name is from the originally from the Jeonju. So Jeonju is so important place. So Jeonju has a place, honored place to having the Taejo's portrait. Yes, this place, this building, having the Taejo's portrait. And through Taejo's portrait, we can get a detailed his face, his appearance. And Jeonju is also important place. And this is interior of Gyeonggi-jeong in Jeonju. And Jangseong, you will go there in the Jangseong Seowon, Piram Seowon. Piram Seowon is designated as one of the 9 Seowon, and in Korea that are listed on as UNESCO Cultural Heritage. This heritage consists of 9 Seowon. Yes. The Piram Seowon is you will be there in this summer camp, and it is one of them, 9 Seowon. And Haenam Yundu-seo, yes, Yundu-seo was born in the Haenam Jeolla-do, and his great grandfather Yoon Seon-do was a renowned scholar who composed poems. And coming from the wealthy and scholarly family, Yundu-seo ancestor had a long history of passing the National Civil Service examinations with distinction. However, when his third brother was involved in political disputes and died, Yundu-seo decided to abandon his official career, even though he had passed examinations in the past. Instead, he devoted his life to studying and painting. So, self-portrait of his self-portrait, capturing the personality and characters. Yundu-seo's most famous painting is his self-portrait called He depicted himself with the fierce eyebrows and eyes and tightly closed lips and meticulously drawn beard, and giving the impression that it was alive. This painting not only captures his facial features, but also reveals his personalities and characters, making it feel remarkably lifeless. Yoon also painted like this one. He was departed from the traditional Chinese style of painting and primarily depicted Korean landscapes, animals, and daily lives of Korean people, Joseon people. Yes, and Gwangju, Jeollado, is also known as the ceramics. We also saw the Celadon, but like it's buncheong, we call it usually buncheongs. And Jeolla is also very famous in the music, 판소리, 농악, and food. I want to convey to all of you the culture of the Jeolla regions in relation to its geographical location, which is why I have been showing you maps throughout. And finally, I have come to realize that diverse cultures flourished is almost every region. Depending on the time period and the characteristics, each regions of Jeolla regions encompasses various historical and cultures. It is a challenging task to convey the thousands of years of history and cultures in Jeolla region, from prehistoric times to the present within this class time. Therefore, I have chosen to discuss historical and culturally significant points. I also aim to provide a closer look at the place related to the field trip course you will visit in this summer. I hope this class helps you better understanding Jeolla regions. Thank you for the listening carefully. Thank you.